the only goddamn experience that the whole fucking family has just been pissed off at him, but that right there was one of them. He sat there and gladly took her money, though, because he was on her fucking will. My great aunt, she actually had a lot of fucking money saved up. But like I said before, these people back in the day, they scrounged for every motherfucking penny they could find because they were going through the Great Depression days and they were just very frugal. And that's, again, why she saved a lot of stuff, too. That whole fucking basement was, a bunch of boxes with shit in there, and we had to clear all that out. Some of it was still good, some of it wasn't. But Jesus Christ, the motherfucker didn't come over once. I would sit there and go over there every motherfucking day for hours and hours. My grandma and grandpa, who are no fucking spring chickens, as the saying is, they're old as fuck. They're over there sitting there grinding and working their fucking ass off almost all day trying to clear her house. He wasn't doing a fucking thing besides sitting in his goddamn apartment, drinking beer, watching stupid shit on TV. And then proceeds to sit there and get mad when we ask him to come over to help us a couple of times. Turns around and then says, well, it's not really any of my business. How the fuck is it not your business? That's your aunt that passed away, and you won't even come over and help with minimal shit. What the fuck would be so hard about taking a couple boxes out? Alcoholic fucking deadbeat piece of shit. I can't fucking stand him, and then people always wonder why I don't fucking talk to him anymore. That's why. Because he's a self-absorbed asshole, he's a prick, he's just a human piece of shit. And to sit there and fucking start arguments with everyone on every single goddamn family occurrence. Whether it be we invite him over for a birthday party, Christmas time, it's always a bitch fest. Every fucking Christmas, I have to sit there and listen to him bitch about him getting Christmas gifts he doesn't like a fucking toddler. Jesus Christ, my grandma and grandpa bought him a fucking brand new TV. This is going back about 10 years, but it was a really nice flat screen TV because he has this old box piece of shit that was black and white, and it was starting to go out on him. So anyways, yeah, they got him this fucking nice full HD TV, sits there and fucking bitches about it. Vizio? What the fuck is a Vizio? Is this even a TV? This piece of shit looks like you found it at the Goodwill and just go on the fuck off, and it was a brand new TV. Nice TV. Better than the fucking black and white piece of shit he had. Who the fuck does that shit? He's fucking scum. So I'm sure you have people in your family like that too, but man, that motherfucker pisses me the fuck off.
Now, I'm not trying to, make this about myself or try to, you know,
Nah, go ahead.
try
I'm
to make.
doing this fucking video. We're just ranting about fucking fake ass family, so go for it.
Ah, shit, I didn't even know, but I pretty much told you this before. Almost half of my family basically abandoned me and my mom, and in the long run, people start, stop caring about my mom, and
When she
and
probably didn't even do anything wrong.
in some parts my mom did, some wrong. She was at fault for some things, but a lot of my family members will never fucking give her any real help or just gave up.
Hmm. Yep, see,
And
that's just it. You have so much family that just is not fucking there for you. You can sit there and do whatever the fuck they want you to do, sit there and always be there for them, but, they won't do the same when the tables have turned.
mhm, almost half of my family is like dead to me. And my other half, it's just depressing. My uncle has beef with my dad over some stupid petty shit that I prefer not to go into.
Okay?
And, you know, it's just petty shit. And again, I have great family members, and I'm not going to deny that. But, you know, this is our bloodline, right? This is our bloodline we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And, how they can fucking discard other people or just treat family like they're a fucking stranger from the street. It's sickening and it's sad, and it should not fucking happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it does happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like, these are supposed to be people that have your back. And it's just fucked up because here's the deal. I don't talk to some of my family, on a frequent basis, but we still get along. You know, for example, if their fucking car broke down, or if my car broke down, vice versa, they would be there to pick me up or give me a jump start or whatever. Same fucking deal applies to them. You know, we're not super close, but you know what? We're family. Some fucking family just goes after the fucking advantage portion. They are always there when something is wrong with their life or their fucking vehicle broke down or they need help moving or something like that. They're always
They
hounding your
hate you until
ass.
they fucking need you.
Exactly. All this fucking fake ass shit saying, "Oh yeah, that's why we're family." Yeah, yeah. And the same fucking thing happened with my goddamn uncle. Not to twist the fucking shit around back to him, but god fucking damn, I'm just doing a fucking video exposing his ass because so many viewers are like, "What's the status between you and your uncle?" It's still fucked up because he will not change his life. He will not change his ways. I went over there last year in the fucking cold, in the snow, shitty ass goddamn weather, cold as fuck, and helped him clean up his goddamn apartment because he sat there and claimed that he was going to get evicted if it didn't get cleaned up, which I do believe that. However, he made up this fucking phony baloney ass excuse to get me the fuck over there to help him. He turns around and says he pulled his back so bad he could barely even walk. So I go into his apartment and I seen he was sitting there limping around, grabbing his back, sitting there making fucking moaning noises like the Big Bang Bros and shit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna help you now. So I start getting all these fucking boxes and shit. I'm taking them out to the fucking trash can. I'm getting shit cleaned up in his place. I go the fuck back in because he is very hard of hearing. He can't hear worth a shit. I go back in and he is walking perfectly fucking fine. He is walking like any other normal human being would. He turns around and sees me and then grabs his back and goes, "Oh, oh, shit, that hurt. Oh." That motherfucker was sitting there lying about having a fucking backache and how torn up his body was just so I would go the fuck over there and help him. When I seen him doing that shit, I walked the fuck out. I said, "You can take all your fucking shit, do what you want with it. I seen what the fuck you did. You're walking around, nothing's wrong with you. You're perfectly fine except you're fucked in the head. Goodbye. Good riddance." I left. I didn't talk to him for months. And to be honest, if I had a choice in the fucking matter, I wouldn't talk to his ass at all. I still fucking have slight communication with him because he still gets invited to family gatherings. Like I was saying before, every Christmas sits there and bitches people out for giving him clothes and "you guys didn't put enough money in my card." Well, you fucking sorry ass broke piece of shit. You won't even give no one a fucking dollar in their card. You won't even go as far as to buy him a damn card. Sit there and go to the bar every fucking day, go to the casino, put horse bets down and shit, but yet you can't even give no one $5 on Christmas? Fuck you. And this happened, I'll tell you another story that happened about 15 fucking years ago. We're going back a while here. My grandpa just had a pretty massive stroke, and he got home, and about 4 or 5 days after that, there was a family gathering. We were celebrating the family birthdays and shit. He completely throws a fucking temper tantrum at the goddamn dinner table because my grandma was like a half an hour late with the food. And my mom was sitting there saying, "Steve, this is not fucking food service. Like, it's not full on catering. She's working her ass off here in the kitchen to provide food for everyone. She's cooking for you. Just sit down and shut up." He just completely fucking goes off the wall. And I remember bits and pieces of this. It was so goddamn long ago. I don't remember every single little fucking detail, but my grandpa was not supposed to get stressed. He had just had a major fucking stroke, which was partially due by stress, and we're just sitting there looking at him. We're looking at my grandpa, saying, "Hey, calm down. It isn't nothing. Just fucking ignore him. He's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah." And he's hearing all the shit that my uncle is saying, just terrible fucking things. "Oh, you stupid bitch. This should have been done 45 fucking minutes ago. Jesus Christ, you're slow. Why do I even come over here?" And just absolutely bantering and just being a fucking piece of shit. And my grandpa's
Now,
just getting so fucking pissed. His face is turning like beet red. He's starting to fucking shake. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
um, so let me clarify this. Let me double check. So your grandma was the one who's cooking, right?
Yes. Yeah, my grandma's
And
one that always
so,
cooks on family gatherings, so yeah. And which is my uncle's mom, for those that don't know. He's sitting there
and
talking to his own mother like that.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's his own mother.
Yeah,
That he called her a bitch.
yeah.
And it's an old
Called her a
lady. It's an old
stupid
lady.
bitch. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So my
For
grandpa is just sitting there fucking floored, like he cannot even believe this shit's going on. He's shaking like a motherfucker. I'm sitting here watching this whole fucking debacle go down, and my aunt and my mom turn around and just start fucking beating the shit out of him. And then turns around, picks Steve up basically by his ear, like an angry mom would do to their fucking like 5-year-old son. Picked him up by his ear and tossed him out of the fucking house. And he comes banging on the fucking door saying, fuck you, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And saying all this shit, whoop, 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 whoop. And he's just going the fuck off. So,
I
anyways,
was
he
just called
turns
cops
around,
by then.
starts, yeah, we about did. He was kicking the fucking door like a maniac, and then finally, when he realized he wasn't gonna get back in, he throws a fucking rock at the window, gets in a shitty ass fucking, what do you have at the time? Some busted ass Cadillac. Anyways, gets into his fucking car, throws the shit in reverse, slams into my grandma and grandpa's mailbox, and peels the fuck out. Just absolute fucking mental case activity right there. Just a complete fucking menace.
So, in family gatherings, does your grandma and grandpa still invite your uncle?
They still fucking do. They still do. They invite him to almost every single one. 2 years ago, he did not get invited to Christmas. That's because he really fucking said something to my grandma, and she wouldn't even go into detail about the situation. So I knew it was something bad. So he had said something fucking more than likely threatening or terrible or whatever to her, and she didn't invite him. And then the motherfucker calls me saying, "Yeah, what are you guys doing for Christmas?" I sat there and said, "We're just having Christmas like normal." And he's like, "Well, it ain't normal. I'm not there." I said, "Yeah, because you fucked up, and you fucked up big time. I don't know what you did, you son of a bitch, but you made my grandmother, your mom, so fucking mad that she would not even invite you. She invites you to every family gathering. So you must have fucked up and said something wrong. Really fucking wrong." I hung up on his ass. Getting back to the one fucking story. So, anyways, like I said, he peels the fuck out, rams the mailbox, knocks it the fuck over, and just takes out and then proceeds to turn around and call me on the fucking landline phone that we used to have at our house a matter of 2 hours later, just like nothing even happened. Just like it was a perfectly normal day. I just sat there. I thought, what the fuck? Like, this guy is not right in the fucking head. And my mom turns around and says, "Do not talk to him. Hang that fucking phone up. Do not talk to his ass." So I did. I hung the fucking phone. I didn't want to talk to him
Fucking
anyways.
camper.
But any fucking ways, Jesus Christ. 4th of July one year. Here was another time where he just went the fuck off. We're all out there, and this is, by the way, the last fucking year that he was invited to a 4th of July because he did some real fucking dumb shit. So just a typical 4th of July. We ate lunch over at my grandparents' house. They always used to host the 4th of July. I would come out the next day with my mom and clean up all the fireworks. And, it was just such a fun time going out there with the family and just enjoying life, enjoying another holiday. Steve had to fucking ruin that one year because my grandma was out there, my aunt was out there, and my mom was out there. And I was out there too, along with grandpa and the whole fucking family. And my aunt starts singing this fucking, I don't know what the hell she was singing. Shit, I'm trying to think of what song it was. But anyways, they start singing like Dancing Queen or something like that. And, they are singing it a little bit loud, being a little bit annoying. All Steve had to say was, "Hey, can you tone it down a little bit?" So anyways, my mom, my aunt, my grandma are singing fucking Dancing Queen. I forget who even fucking sings that song. But anyways, Steve turns around and says, "God damn it! Will you two cackling hens just shut your fucking mouths? Jesus Christ, I'm sick of it. My fucking ears can't take." He just blows a gasket. So what they do is they start singing even fucking louder. just to piss him off, which, I thought that shit was fucking hilarious. And this again probably happened 12, 13 years ago, long ass fucking time. So my uncle gets so fucking pissed, he turns around and shoves the firework punk. For those that don't know what that is, that's that little fucking sandpaper thing that you light, obviously, to light your fucking fireworks. It stays lit until you put it out, whatever. He turns around, shoves that fucking thing right up in my aunt's face, and burns her a little bit. Oh my god, I just couldn't even fucking believe that shit. I was just sitting there, once again, floored, just absolutely stunned that he would even do some shit like that. And my aunt, she grabs the fucking punk, snaps it in half, throws it at him, and says, "Don't you ever put that thing in my fucking face again. You will not be leaving this home. You will be buried in the fucking yard." She wasn't fucking playing around. She was absolutely pissed. So he turns around, lights off a fucking bottle rocket, which is some illegal ass hillbilly fucking bullshit that he bring every fucking year. He would bring that shit every fucking year. No one liked it. It would fuck up and it would shatter glass everywhere. And Jesus Christ, a fucking shard of glass hit me one year, cut me open real fucking good because of his stupid ass. But anyways, he turns around and lights a fucking bottle rocket and holds it and shoots it off at her. And oh my god, it was just so fucking terrible. So they literally start throwing fucking hands after about 5 minutes of throwing fireworks and shit at each other. They start throwing hands. I'm like, what the fuck is even going on? So, I mean, they're just sitting there beating the shit out of each other. And their brother and sister, you think, oh, they're play fighting, huh? No, they're not. Both of them were. It was that fucking brutal. So, anyways, we had to break that shit up. And my grandpa, again, was sitting there getting his fucking blood pressure all skyrocketing and shit, sitting there watching all this go down. And he's starting to get mad. "Steve, go home. This is bullshit. You're treating everyone like garbage. Get in your car and leave." "Fuck you, Dad. I ain't going any fucking where. I'm staying here. I'm having a good time. This bitch can get in her SUV and tail it the fuck out. I ain't going no fucking where." So again, I mean, it's just a bunch of fucking drama. Long story short, we ended up fucking forcing him into his car to get him the fuck out. We had the cops on the line too. I think the cops even came out, if I remember correctly, but it was just a fucking crazy ass experience over something so fucking minor. Ooh, big fucking deal. My mom and my grandma and my aunt are singing fucking Dancing Queen a little bit too loud for his liking. You don't like it? Fucking leave. Don't say anything or go back in the house. But no, try and start a full-on fucking physical fight over it. See, he's got fucking multiple screws loose. He is a really fucked up person. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the video up here, but for those that are wondering, what's my fucking status with my uncle? Do I even talk to him and all this other shit?